Should you contact your ex after your breakup if your ex decided to end the relationship and you want to get back with them? That's the question you might be asking yourself. Should I reach out? Should I wait for them to contact me? I'll explain in this video something very important, something that most people say after a breakup, when their partner decides to end the relationship. This is what usually prevents them from getting back with their ex. I'll explain whether you should break no contact, whether you should go no contact, and the things you need to say if you want to get back with your ex. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
After a breakup, we're always between two conflicting approaches. One, which is a very common one, that you've probably heard many tips on this on YouTube. Your ex broke up with you, therefore you need to have some pride, you need to gain respect. If they broke up, they need to get back with you, and therefore you need to ignore them. The second approach, which is something that we might feel doing, and you don't want to risk them pulling away, and you stay in touch. Okay, so we have these two things, and we balance from I need to ignore them, I feel disrespected, I feel it's unfair, I don't want to be treated like this, I want to really make a point, really set my boundaries, and therefore I need to ignore them and wait for them to reach out. Or there's so much at stake, I don't want to risk them forgetting me or moving on or dating someone else, so I need to stay around, I need to stay in touch with them. And also, staying in touch with them makes me feel a little bit better. Those two things are bad and good. I'll explain you why. Ignoring, the no contact and no contact forever, I would say. The pros, and I love no contact, is that it helps you focus on you. You can't be reflecting, you can't be assessing, you can't be healing or trying to heal from the breakup if you're constantly in touch with your ex. Also, one thing that I see a lot is that when we're in touch with our ex, the more we contact them, the more likely we'll say stupid things, things that we regret. We might be too emotional, too aggressive, and that might push our ex further away. So no contact in that sense is a great tool to prevent us from doing anything stupid. And after a breakup, sometimes we are really stupid. Now, the downside of ignoring your ex is it doesn't always provide closure. Very often people are not really great at communicating why they break up with their partner. And so you might be in the situation where you feel like, I can't move on because how can, I don't understand how he or she made a decision. I know they are seeing the story that is not what I feel is the reality of things. They assume that I won't be able to change. They assume that we're not meant to be together, and I completely disagree. And I can't get closure if I don't have proper explanations on how they were able to make that decision. How my ex was able to tell me, I love you, and a week after deciding to end the relationship. I don't understand, I need to know. And therefore I need to connect, I need to understand, I need to speak with them to get that closure. And also, don't get me wrong, sometimes by going no contact for a very long time, you might miss an opportunity to get back together. I'll explain after. So the second approach is staying in touch. You know what you had was special. And by the way, my videos, the work I'm doing is to rescue, is to save relationships that are worth saving, that have had strong foundations, where you know it's worth fighting for this relationship. One way I assess this with my clients is I ask them to take a quiz, an assessment that tells them whether they have any chance of getting back with the ex. Have a look in the description, there's a link where you can take the test. It gives you basically a score and you know right away whether you have a chance or not to get back with your ex. It's very important because what I'm saying in this video might not apply if your relationship was not strong enough. So the same way you attracted them initially, you think that, I stay in touch to seduce them, right? At the beginning of the relationship, we had this attraction phase, seduction phase, went super well. So there's no reason why I can't get back to that phase, right? And that's the only way for me to show them my qualities, my progress, my change, is to stay in touch with them. Another thing is that we might be feeling, and it's kind of a not selfish, but directed to us, to what we need after a breakup, which is emotional support, right? So the thing is, after a breakup, we feel like sometimes lonely, sometimes sad, and the only person, or the person we trust the most, the person we are, with whom we are more comfortable sharing things, is our ex-partner. And that helps us fighting the feeling of loneliness. Pros and cons. The pros is it really helps you assess whether your ex has feelings or not. If you're not in touch with them, how can you know? The pros also is like maintaining a level of intimacy. If you disappear from their world, it's very hard to connect with them at a shallow level or at a deeper level. Now the cons. It doesn't always provide closure. The thing is, when you get in touch with your ex, they might give you mixed signals. They might, come across as very cold and distant. They didn't manage to express or to explain really what happened and why they broke up with you. And staying in touch with them won't really give you any additional answers. And the cons, which is the biggest one, is that provides or that prevents your ex from really processing the breakup. So if they break up with you and you're always around, it's a way for them to have the cake and eat it. A breakup is also difficult for someone who decides to end a relationship. If you stay around, if you stay in touch with them, you make it easier for them. There's no consequences to their action, right? So it's very important also to understand that when you stay in touch, you maintain an idea that it's easy to break up with you. And when something is easy, when we feel okay in a situation, there's no drive to change. There's no drive to change a decision, right? If the breakup is easy for them, why would they get back with you? Because the situation as it is okay for them. It's not okay for you, but it's okay for them. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. The solution is to be measured. Sometimes it's good to ignore, sometimes it's good to stay in touch. It's the problem we have in today's society as a whole is like it's either for or against. It's black or white. You have a problem, that's the solution. And that's and we always have these two extremes. But the problem is when we deal with relationship, when we deal with people, we fail to understand the complexity of relationships, of interdependent dynamics with a partner, with an ex, the context, the environment. And it's very hard to provide you a black or white answer. I strongly believe that no contact is an amazing tool. But at the same time, I strongly believe, because I see it with my clients, that staying in touch with your ex, getting in touch with your ex at some stage will help you. And you have to use them depending on where you are on your ex. I'll give you some practical examples because I know you want to learn, you want to know how to do it. You want to say like, okay, Alexis, I get it, makes sense, but okay, in my case, what do I do? The problem is, and everybody tells me that your situation is unique, and if you want to have a unique solution to your situation, I recommend reaching out to me or Elizabeth, and we'll help you and guide you. Sometimes people, they just need, one session to really declutter, their situation, really gain clarity on the situation. Sometimes it's more like, you need more work in terms of growth, in terms of learning how to be more secure or managing your anxiety. That's a different thing. But if you feel like I'm stuck, I have a list of 3 to 5 questions to really know what would be my next move, my next action, the next things I should say or do with my ex, and you know there's so much at stake, because sometimes we're stuck in a position where, you know, if only I knew whether I should go left or right, I know that would make a massive difference. But if I make a mistake at this stage, it's game over. So if you're not sure and if you want to maximize your chance, don't hesitate to get in touch. There's a link in the description, and we'll be more than happy to guide you. We'll use our experiences, different cases and success stories to really tell you, you know, what would be the ideal move in your situation. Nothing that people say. I hope. The thing is, you probably said that, so don't freak out. But I'll explain you why it's not ideal if you ever change your mind. So why it's very, very, very risky to say this to your ex. You want to go into contact, you want to tell them, or you want to write accountability letter or stuff like that. You express an idea that, okay, I accept the breakup, I don't agree, I still have feelings for you. You say whatever you want. But when you end by, if you ever change your mind, what does that mean for your ex? It means that if you want them to reach out, it implies that they should only reach out if they're 100% sure they want to get back with you. And that's the problem. The problem is that it never happens, rarely happens. When I work with my clients, what we see is their ex is never 100% sure. It's maybe 10 to 20% sure. You go into contact, you work on yourself, you change aspects of your life, they go and reflect, suffer the breakup, realize that it's real, and at some stage they're curious, they reach out, you're in touch with them, but at this stage, they have no certainty whether they want to get back with you. And so what is very interesting is when I start working with my clients, they have like 100% certainty they want to get back with their ex. Usually, there's some sort of a limerence effect or infatuation stage where we put our ex on a pedestal. And so I don't necessarily actively push my clients to reduce their sort of the 100% to 50% of them wanting to get back with them. But I give them, again, life is more complex. It's not black and white. And so give them a little bit of distance. Teach them to detach a little bit from the situation, from the breakup, from their partner. And so they started with 100%. It's the only thing I want to do. Every morning I think about them. Every evening I think about them. That's the solution to all my pain and problems. So we reduce that maybe to 80%, to 70%, whatever. But when they're getting in touch with their ex, because they usually, an ex, if you do the right things, they will reach out, or if you do the right things, you can also reach out. But your ex will be at 10%, 20%. And so you need to bring them to where you are. And they also need to convince you, right? If you're at 50%, because you've realized that actually, some aspect of the breakup where their responsibility is not only mine. They took the decision to end the relationship. It was kind of selfish in a way, because we didn't communicate on those. We didn't sort of work as a team at that time. And so you also have, need to understand that you need to bring them on board. They need to also bring you on board. And so by saying, if you ever change your mind, you're assuming that, if they reach out, they'll be 100% sure. It never happens. Imagine, put yourself in their shoes. You break up with someone. You still have feelings for that person, because that's what's happening right now. You're not sure, you're confused, you're lost, and you're curious. You want to know, you want to assess. And you're about to text that person, and you feel, yeah, but he told me only to reach out if I change my mind. But I don't know. I simply don't know. And so in those cases, you have a lot of people, because they are scared to hurt you, because they are scared to fail or to get rejected, they won't break no contact. They won't reach out. And that's perhaps one of the reasons you might be struggling with no contact, thinking, I've done whatever people told me online. I sent that letter. I told them, if you ever change your mind, I don't break no contact because I know it's bad. People told me I should never ever break no contact. The person who broke the relationship should reach out. And you end up in that situation where you're waiting and the other is scared of reaching out because of the high stakes that you put in those words. This is what you should say instead. I feel sad, it's ending this way. I think it's best if we don't keep seeing each other or texting each other for a bit. We both need this. That's it. Stop here. Getting back with them, or it's not by telling them you love them that you'll get back together. That's not the point. Even though they broke up with you because they felt that you didn't invest in the relationship, telling them I love you, telling them I have feelings for you, won't bring them back. That's not what they want to hear. Okay? They need to feel the loss. And by doing that, you take ownership of the situation. Yes, of course. You took the decision, okay, I go no contact. I think that's, in a sense, a power move to go no contact in that context. But that's okay to express regret, a little bit of feelings. I know this is a very generic thing, and I'm conscious and I'm so sorry. If you need more tailored, as I said, get in touch with myself or Elizabeth, send me a WhatsApp and we'll be more than happy to tailor something to your situation. I'm quite conscious and I'm so sorry that it's kind of broad, but that's the limitation. I might do, and let me know actually in the comment section, I might do a book or a guide to help you when it comes to texting your ex. I know we do a lot of work on effective communication with my clients, with our community that we've created, that we've launched recently. At the moment, I feel that effective communication is something that should be taught in workshop settings where people have the ability to test, to experience, to try and fail in a bit, but in a secure environment. But if you're interested in learning more about effective communication, how to text an ex, I can work on something, but I will do it only if you ask me because I'm very busy, so I'm choosing my projects. If you need anything else, if you like the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe as well to watch other of my videos. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
For a long time, get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.